When was the last time you played Minecraft? Was it by yourself? With friends? Regardless, if and when you play with other people, there always seems to be that one person who rises above the rest. One who wants the most power and grinds more than anyone else. On my server, this man was known as Chewy AZ. Since day one of the server, he grinded to get the most gear, to make sure he was better than anyone else, and before we even knew it, he had Netherite, and claimed to have taken all the Netherite in the surrounding area, just to make sure he would be the only one to have it. Despite this, all my friends and I still messed around and would have fun. In fact, my friend Lil 10 joined the server and wanted to do something. That's when I figured, why not give him some TNT, since what harm could it do? Not surprisingly, he wanted to trap someone's house, so I helped him out by putting a single piece of exposed TNT in my teammate Tharvolt's base. All it would do is blow up his chest and just be a slight inconvenience, but no harm done.
Oh shit!
And it worked perfectly.
Put a TNT in my house. Why is there so many bows at my house?
He had no idea I helped Lil 10.
Wait, someone put a TNT in your house?
Yes!
And I convinced him it had to be Chase. He thought the trap was so dumb it had to be Chase as well.
It has to be Chase. You know, like how someone said like it's so genius, but then like the person who actually done it is like just so stupid. It has to be that person, and I know it has to be Chase, knowing that.
Great news for me because it didn't backfire at all.
I think I got rid of the main bow I was using.
But of course he wanted his revenge, and I just so happened to have some more TNT, so I helped him trap Chase's
Should we put
house.
it right here just to be safe?
Exactly the way he did it, yeah.
Boom. There was just one small problem with this teeny tiny little bitty prank. Apparently, Chase was teamed with none other than Chewy AZ, aka the most powerful man on the server, aka the one I mentioned earlier. To top it all off, this guy was even better at fighting than me. So when Chase's house blew up, he figured out who did it and trapped Tharvolt's house, using more TNT than I had used, and he stole his trident. Eventually, when I was building my base, Tharvolt logged into the server, luckily enough, right in his base. This means he spawned in the one place he'd be safe from the trap, and he was able to disarm it. That's when he asked me, who trapped his house? What else was I supposed to tell him other than it had to be Chewy, or at least from what I knew. Besides, no one had the amount of TNT in that trap other than Chewy. It had to be him. Of course, Tharvolt wanted revenge. I figured I could help him out. The trap we made was simple. If Chewy opened his door, it would blow everything up. The same trap used on Tharvolt, with the exact same TNT. But once we finished making it, I opened the door. Oops. Forgot that was rigged. Tharvolt immediately left me, causing me to just be standing there, all alone, in a crater, where the most powerful man's house once stood. At that time, I happened to be getting a call. It was Chewy, meaning he would be getting online soon, meaning this call would be my one chance to explain myself and why I was standing in the middle of a crater. I quickly explained to them that Tharvolt had gotten his revenge, but to my surprise, Chewy didn't seem mad at this. Rather, that's when he said something I didn't expect.
I understand Tharvolt blew up my house, right? I understand that. I get that. I didn't know I blew up his house. You're a snitch, and I hate snitches.
As he said that, he was hunting me down. I couldn't fight him right now. I only had building materials and he was a better fighter than me. I quickly and barely managed to flee into the dark oak forest, and I made it into the Nether. I was ready and expecting to have to move far away and start a brand new life. But that's when Chewy reached out to me with a proposal. While I might have managed to escape, he was back at my base, and he told me,
If you don't come back here, I will kill all your villagers. We can talk this out. Come on.
Considering this offer, I realized that if I could save my villagers, gearing up would become incredibly easier, and in return, I would be that much closer to fighting back. It seemed like a no-brainer. After all, he said he just wanted to talk things out, right? I hid my stuff just to be safe and headed over. When I got to the base and tried talking, it was clear he didn't want to talk, but instead he told me,
Get ready for the last day. It's coming soon.
and with that, he killed me and left. You see, not too long ago, before all the bases got blown up and destruction, Chewy had mentioned something to me that wouldn't let me live this down. He claimed that nowadays, he was unrivaled because our friend groovyman was no longer on the server. For those of you who don't know groovyman, he's a beloved friend who once played with us all the time, but he's been graduated from high school and hasn't been able to play with us since. Chewy saying this, combined with him killing me, made me realize he believed he could do whatever he wanted with no consequence, that with groovyman gone, nobody could stop him. But that's where he was wrong. Groovy might be gone, but I was going to step up and fill his place. I had to. I only have a year and a half before I graduate myself and will be gone. But in that amount of time, I want to make him proud. If you want to help me with this goal, please subscribe. That way I can show him all the progress I made while he was gone. After he killed me, I was all alone. Not knowing what to do, I decided to raid my ender chest for valuables, like blaze rods needed to craft potions. Potions would be essential if I were to ever stand a chance against Chewy. But right as I went to get my ender chest, Chewy took it. Luckily, he forgot to grab his own ender chest, so I stole his instead. With the goods from my newly acquired ender chest, that's when I came up with the 4-step plan to beat Chewy. Step 1. Get end crystals. Not only were end crystals super powerful, but crystal PvP is the only form of PvP I've managed to beat Chewy in. Even then, it's only some of the time, but it was the best chance I figured I had. Step 2. Get potions and upgrade gear. This step was easy considering I still had my villagers, but was a necessity if I even wanted to stand a chance. Step 3. Get Netherite. Even if Chewy really did take all the surrounding Netherite, it didn't matter. No matter how long it would take, I needed to get Netherite. It would level the playing field. Step 4. Get the mace. To be honest with you, I've never used the mace before, but I know it's one of the few items in Minecraft that can deal massive damage to maxed out players like Chewy. If I could learn how to use it, I'd have a serious advantage. With this plan in mind, I immediately got to work on step number 1. That's when Tharvolt got back, and we went to check out his base.
Did my house get blown up too, or is it just lag? Like, oh, it did get blown up.
What is this?
Keep that same energy.
Dude, he's gonna blow up, like, everything. The server's gonna be ruined if we don't do something to stop it. I decided to recruit him into my mission and invite him to help me out. Do you want to help me build a gas farm?
Yes.
In case you were wondering, the reason I needed a gas farm was to get gas tiers, the primary ingredient in crafting end crystals. The way I viewed it was I needed a gas farm to get gas tiers to make end crystals to have a slightly better chance against Chewy, and I was going to do anything I could to better my odds. All I needed to do now was to gather the necessary materials and find a spot to build the farm. You got it. With all the materials now collected, it was time to build the farm. I know you just watched a montage, but like... Once the farm was all built, I made sure it worked, and then I AFK'd in it all night. Once I got back, I had all the gas tiers I could possibly need. Now, unfortunately, gas tiers aren't the only thing needed to craft end crystals. You also need an Eye of Ender and glass. Fortunately though, I had plenty of blaze rods for Eyes of Ender, and because I saved my villagers from earlier, getting the glass would be a piece of cake. Having crafted some end crystals with many more on the way, next up was step 2. Now, to be honest with you, this was probably the easiest step, just because right before this whole video even started, I was grinding blaze rods with Tharvolt, so I would never need to get blaze rods ever again. So like, thank you past me. Because of this, I was brewing all sorts of potions right away, going as far as storing several in my ender chest in case I needed any extra during a fight. From now on, I would always try to have at least some on me. I also planned to brew up some more potions in between steps, so this one was really more of a passive goal. As for my gear, I just traded with villagers, but the funny thing is, I noticed Chewy actually left his villagers since he abandoned his base, and I figured might as well not let them go to waste, so I was able to get fully maxed out gear pretty easily thanks to that. The only thing left now was to get golden apples, but golden apples are kind of expensive if you don't have a gold farm, and I don't have a gold farm. Luckily, I already had tons of gold from the Nether, and I traded with villagers for apples. Also, if I needed any more gold, I have to visit the Nether in the next step anyways, so I figured might as well multitask and get some gold while I'm in the area. Alright, so now is about the time I clear some things up. For my viewers who are paying really close attention to detail, you might have noticed something whenever I opened up my ender chest. I already had netherite. I had lots of it. Or, I at least had enough for a full set and then some. The thing is, Netherite itself is not what I needed, but rather Netherite templates. You see, if you don't already know, to upgrade any sort of diamond gear to Netherite, you actually need 2 items. First being the Netherite, of course, but second being a Netherite template. And you can't upgrade a single piece of armor or tool without either one. Now, it didn't used to be this way, as before Netherite templates were added, it used to be a whole lot easier to get Netherite gear. And this just so happened to be my first time trying to get Netherite gear ever since they added Netherite templates. That meant I needed to do some research to make sure I understood everything that I would possibly need to know about them, like their location and spawn rates. I had already known that Netherite templates are found in structures known as bastions, but I learned that they're not guaranteed to spawn in every bastion. They have about a 10% chance to spawn in any given chest in a bastion, unless it's a treasure bastion specifically, in which case the treasure room of a treasure bastion is the only 100% chance for a Netherite template. Did I also mention that there's 4 different types of bastions? Great, so that means I'll pretty much be at the mercy of RNG. Additionally, if you want to duplicate the Netherite template so, you get more than 1 piece of Netherite gear, it costs 7 diamonds each time. So for a full gear set, it costs up to 56 diamonds, 63 if you want a shovel, and at that point 70 to throw a hoe in there, cause might as well spend the rest of your money and get that pretty little achievement. Now, I'm not an expert, but it seems that Mojang is trying to educate kids on the reality of crushing debt and spending your diamonds wisely. Luckily, I had the diamonds, but I just wanted to point out how absurd this is. On top of all of these issues that are regularly present when trying to get Netherite, you might remember earlier in the video that I mentioned Tharvolt and I traveled to the Nether to get some blaze rods. Yeah. When I said we traveled, I didn't mean we walked around for like 500 blocks or even 1,000 blocks. No. We had explored for thousands of blocks in the Nether to find one fortress. And you know what we saw along the way? Not a single bastion. Now, to add fuel to the fire, which was the horrendous Nether spawn we had, Chewy claimed he took all the surrounding Netherite templates. He claimed that every single bastion, even remotely close to us, was raided by him. Then, he continuously gatekept the only Netherite templates on the server, trying to charge ridiculously high prices, just because he knew nobody could realistically afford them.
$5 billion.
5 billion?
For my Netherite, yeah.
And this was before I even blew up his house, which, for the record, it's still embarrassing that I'm the one who set off the trap, I'll admit it. So, going into this step, I had to deal with the horrendous Nether spawn, the fact any bastions in the area were supposedly already raided by Chewy, and there were no elytras on the server. Oh yeah, so if you don't already know what an elytra is, they're one of the fastest and easiest ways to travel in Minecraft. They pretty much give you the ability to fly as long as you have firework rockets, and are literally one of the most useful items in the entire game. Now, it's not like these were necessarily banned, but rather the end, the place where elytras are found, was banned until the end fight. This means I was going to have to explore the Nether for thousands and thousands of blocks, more than I already had, while on foot! Yeah, so this was gonna take a while. Anyways, that's why this was step 3 and not step 1, as I was trying to procrastinate this step as much as possible because of how much I wasn't looking forward to it. But unfortunately, it was time now, so I went to the Nether and started one of the longest journeys I have ever done in Minecraft. After exploring the Nether for countless blocks and not finding a single thing, I decided to just start digging in a random direction in hopes of finding a new area nobody else had been to, but I was digging in a basalt delta, the biome where bastions are least likely to spawn. Luckily it led right into Soul Sand Valley, which has much better odds for a bastion. And that's when I found one. A real one. I actually found a bastion. And I did it quicker than I expected. I literally couldn't believe it, and I rushed at the opportunity. The one thing I needed to complete my goal was right in front of my face. I instantly went in looking for loot, but something was nagging at me. Why were there blocks everywhere? And why couldn't I find any chests? And if I was able to find the bastion this quickly, what if Chewy was able to as well? I cast the thought aside and just kept looking. It doesn't take a genius to realize this place had been looted, but just maybe there was a forgotten chest somewhere. But no matter how hard I searched, the fact never changed. Chewy was here first, and there was no netherite template to be had. This was bad. Not just because the only bastion I've ever found on the server had already been raided. More importantly, it meant Chewy wasn't bluffing. If he really wasn't bluffing about having raided bastions in our area, how far did he go? A 5,000 block radius? 10,000 block radius? How far would I have to go to find an unraided bastion? Then a thought came to me. If he wasn't bluffing about the bastions, he wasn't bluffing about ending the server. I had no idea what the last day was about or what it entailed, but I now knew Chewy was 100% serious. Moving on from this horrible realization, I had to continue forward. I needed to find another bastion. I needed netherite if I wanted to stop whatever he was planning, and I needed netherite if I wanted to save the server. As I continued my trek through the Nether, I found something. It wasn't another bastion or a new fortress, but it was something I wasn't expecting to see while being so far out in the Nether. I found another portal. Someone had been out this far. Could it have been him? Now, before I jumped to any conclusions, I decided to go in the portal to see what was through it just to be safe. A stronghold. The portal led to a stronghold. This was a huge deal. Like I mentioned earlier, the end was banned. Until the end fight, that was. So what in the world was a portal doing in a stronghold? I looked around and there I found it. A fully completed end portal. Now, putting two and two together, the only person who could have been out this far had to be Chewy. But in the past he used to mention to me how much he was looking forward to the end fight, so I figured there was no way he must have gone to the end while it was still banned. He must have made the portal just so he could be prepared when the end fight came. But on the off chance he had gone through the portal, he would have been able to explore the Nether with an elytra, allowing him to travel infinitely faster than me. Pushing this concern aside, I looked for the next bastion. I walked block after block, seeing countless biomes and endless lava pools. If only I could travel over the lava, but it's not like I could fly over it or anything. Wait, maybe I couldn't fly, but there was another method I could use to travel. You see, in Minecraft, there was one very specific mob that almost nobody uses because it has one very specific niche. It can walk across lava, and it just so happens to be rideable. This mob is known as a strider. Now, while it is bad at literally anything else besides walking on lava, that's the only thing I needed it to do, so it works out perfectly for me. Suddenly, using the strider, I was able to cover tons of new areas that I hadn't been able to before, though I might have obtained my strider through some questionable means. Yeah, so I literally mugged a guy. His friends came after me, which I promptly killed, and then I stole one of their striders, and then I ran away as they slowly chased me. It was probably the funniest thing I've done in Minecraft. And to my surprise, the strider was really fast. It was getting me across the lava in record pace, and before I knew it, I found a bastion. Though before I enter the bastion, I just need to include the conversation Chewy and I were having right before this happened.
I found another netherite template, bro.
You did, bro? That's crazy.
I found like 20. Not 20, I found like 10.
Whenever I find a bastion, it's already raided.
Yeah. You know why?
Yeah.
weeks. Nobody plays this server, so I gotta do something. How do you expect me to prepare for the last day?
Why do you need more templates?
I don't even need more templates. I have infinite. I'm just doing this to block you, so you can't get templates. Plus, every single one I get more richer because I'm taking every single thing away.
Alright, can we just point out the fact that even though he had all the netherite templates that he could possibly need, he was still getting more just to prevent me from getting some.
There's only a finite amount of it that naturally spawn.
And then he explained to me why.
No, I could sell you one for about $5 billion, but
5 billion? I don't know. That's
5 billion.
Pricey.
Now, as excited as I was for Bastion 2, I went in there knowing there was a chance Chewy might have raided this Bastion, but on the off chance he hadn't, I needed to check it out. As I explored, I realized this was a treasure bastion. If I could just find the treasure room, it would have a guaranteed netherite template. But once I found the treasure room, that's when I saw blocks everywhere. Someone had very obviously been here, and I pearled down to check the loot just in case, and there was not a single chest to be had. Not wanting to waste a moment longer at this place, I instantly left and went back on the hunt. Striders were clearly the way to go because after not too long, I managed to find my third bastion. And after checking it out, I noticed this was the first bastion I'd found that hadn't been raided yet. All the piglin brutes were still there, all the gold blocks were still there, and that meant all the chests were still there too. This was finally my chance, my shot, to find a netherite template, but as I looked through chest after chest, I started to have a bad feeling. I wasn't seeing a template. I double checked and triple checked throughout the whole bastion, but that was it. I raided the whole thing and there was no template. Even if Chewy hadn't raided it, unless it was a treasure bastion, there was no guarantee of a netherite template. But instead of being discouraged, this gave me new hope. I finally found an unrated bastion on my third try. That meant I was getting close. I could actually do it. As I rode around on my strider, I began to notice something. As I looked around, I realized the Nether, for all its lava and fire, was strangely beautiful. Minecraft was strangely beautiful. And for the first time since this video began, I was actually having fun. I mean, how many times do you get to do something like this? I had never traveled by Strider before, and there was just something so nice about it, about trying something new. Even though I'd played Minecraft for countless years, there was still stuff I'd never done before, stuff I never experienced. And that's when I thought about it. When was the last time I had done something like this? Something brand new that I'd never done before? When was the last time that I truly played Minecraft? No matter how many years I play this game, it always surprises me at how much more there is to it. That's part of what makes the game so special. Then I thought about how I would have never been here if it weren't for Chewy. I questioned why he was doing all this. Why did he want to bring about the last day? What was the last day going to be? Would he spawn tons of withers? Would he blow up the whole server? I wasn't sure, but after all those thoughts, one more came to mind. What if I checked in a basalt delta just one more time for Bastion? Sure, they have the lowest spawn rates for Bastion, but that would also mean that would be the last place Chewy checked. And before I knew it, I found one. Bastion number 4, my lucky number. I checked chest after chest with no success, and as I checked the last possible chest,
I did it. I actually got a netherite, I actually got a smithing template.
there it was. Now, the reason I wasn't freaking out more in this clip is because my dad walked into the room,
I actually got it.
but I can assure you, mental fireworks were going off in my head. I actually did it. I really did it. I was so happy that I went straight to the nether roof and went home. Stopping the last day seemed more possible than ever, and as I took out my diamonds to duplicate the netherite template, I finally did it. I finally got full netherite gear and full netherite tools. I was now more determined than ever to stop the last day. Now, embarrassingly, I went into this step without much knowledge of the mace. All I knew was that it could be found in trial chambers, which villagers could give you maps to. To prepare for this, I bred tons of villagers in order to turn them into cartographers, the one type of villager who will trade you trial chamber maps. After getting my first map, I went to go check out my first trial chamber. On the way to the trial chamber, I found something strange. Not too far from my own base was a group of chests. It seemed like a base, but considering there were no walls or doors or anything, there was only one person who could have lived here. Only one person who didn't have a real house anymore. On top of that, only one person would have this kind of loot. This was clearly where Chewy now lived. While it did concern me that he lived so close, he was unknowingly providing me free iron, which I didn't mind. Plus, this is what he gets for stealing my brewing stands. So I kept going and going until I reached my first trial chamber. But Chewy was online, meaning he now knew about the fact I was in a trial chamber. Anyways, I had a very small understanding of how a trial chamber works or what they do. All I knew was that you fought mobs, got keys, opened things called vaults with said keys, and that you could potentially get the mace from the vaults. And my first ever trial was going great. All the mobs were easy to kill, I saw a breeze for the first time, and I even got wind bursts. The only thing I couldn't figure out was why there were these ominous looking vaults that wouldn't take my trial keys, but whatever, I'll figure that out later. After I cleared out the whole thing, I started to head back, but all of a sudden, I got a call from Chewy. What are you doing right now?
A trial chamber. No, you're doing one too.
This was really concerning news. He knew I was doing trial chambers, and I knew he was doing trial chambers. It seemed we both had our eyes on the mace. Once I made it home, I continued to get more cartographers and, oh, looks like he stole my brewing stands again. I needed more trial chamber maps, and before I forget to explain it, one cartographer villager gives you one trial chamber map, meaning you need a new villager each time you want a new map. Keeping this in mind, I traded with a villager until it finally gave me a trial chamber map, and I went to go check it out. But as I explored, the area seemed familiar, and since I was still on the call with Chewy, I told him that I thought I'd been scammed, as this map seemed to be the exact same as the last map I used. He didn't believe me, so he came to meet up with me to see the map for himself. Wait a second, hold up, rewind that. Yeah, so if you guys didn't catch that, Chewy had an elytra, you know, the thing from the band Dimension. That explained how he raided so many bastions and how he was getting around to explore trial chambers. I tried to stay calm and act like I didn't notice. I'd have to think about this later.
Hey, little boy.
Then I gave him my map to look at.
Yeah, give me it. I'm gonna keep it a buck 1,000. I think you got scammed. A villager actually scammed? I've never seen that before.
And then he made fun of me.
That is actually hilarious. You got scammed by a villager. Their whole entire thing is to like trade.
On my way back to the base, I saw Chewy underground and he claimed,
I'm hiding my sugarcane, dog. There's a thief around here, bro. I gotta be careful.
yeah, sugarcane for fireworks so he could use his illegal elytra. Then, I gave the villager who scammed me a 1-star review. Nothing made me happier than him getting what he deserved after all. Next, I kidnapped a small child in order to replace him. Sometimes the only answer to your problems is child labor. While I was in my base, I noticed a hole in my wall. Now, while I haven't shown it and I can't be bothered to show it, this is like the 3rd time this hole has appeared. Obviously this was Chewy, nobody else was online, so I patched it up with obsidian, so he wouldn't do it again. That wasn't even the worst part though, as I noticed my anvil was missing. I had to craft a new one and then keep it in my ender chest. This guy really just kept robbing me in broad daylight, right after making fun of me. I called Tharvolt as soon as Chewy left and told him about how Chewy got an elytra and everything else he had done. Anytime I come back to the base after I make a new anvil, he frickin' takes the anvil. And on top of all of that, he keeps digging through the same hole into my base no matter how many times I patch it up. I just filled it up with obsidian finally. He was cocky enough to have an elytra when he was that close to me. I don't know if he meant for me to see it or not, but I saw it. Then we discussed the idea of me getting an elytra.
I think you just I think you gotta get that elytra soon then. Especially for your mace, you gotta get the elytra.
I could get a few shulker boxes, fill them up with potions, and then I would always have potions to fight him. It would give me a better access to ender pearls. And it would make it easier to find the mace and to find enchanted golden apples. The one thing I know for a fact Ryan does not have and will not have is end crystals. But I'm concerned what he's going to do for the last day now. If he has all this stuff, what has he been gathering? What would he need? Eventually, he had to leave though. Bye-bye.
They took it.
And that left me to think about what to do next. Now, because Chewy had been in my base so many times, I figured that there was a good chance he probably trapped it. But as I checked for traps, I found nothing. Okay, I don't see any TNT. So I logged off for the night and thought about what to do now. The following day, I decided my next step would actually be to get better at PvP. Specifically, crystal PvP. Now, I had a very good reason for this, besides the fact I already had crystals, and it was all because of the mace. You see, I know Chewy was going after the mace, meaning I would most likely have to face off against the mace, so I wanted a way to counter it. That's when I came up with an idea. The mace works by how many blocks you fall. The more blocks you fall, the greater the damage. And this can go on forever, meaning you can one-shot any player or thing. Now, end crystals work by someone being right above you. If you're on the same level as an end crystal, it can one-shot you. I realized if someone was attacking you with the mace and you timed it just right before they hit you, you could blow them up and one-shot them with a crystal. So I began training. Shout out to this guy named I'm a Snake. He took the time to show me how crystal PvP worked. I'd never met him before, but he gave me great advice telling me to use keybinds, which I still use to this day. Trying out the keybinds he suggested, I quickly started to get better. I went from barely knowing anything about crystal PvP to being an amateur. I wasn't the best, but I was a lot better than I used to be. And as I played game after game, I started winning. But not always. Eventually, I felt confident enough in my skills, so I hopped back on the server. It was finally time to go to the end. Once I was in the end, I wanted to be safe, so I covered up my tracks and looked around. I didn't see blocks or anything like that until I noticed some sort of redstone contraption. I bridged to it in order to get a better view, and it seemed like it was a flying machine. Then, even weirder than that, I noticed that the dragon was still alive for some reason. Normally, you kill the dragon for an end gateway to get to the end islands so you can get elytras. But if someone wanted to get an elytra without killing the dragon, they had to travel over 1,000 blocks to get to the end islands. That meant Chewy had done this, but considering I saw no 1,000 block bridge, he must have done it some other way. The flying machine. Chewy must have used it to travel 1,000 blocks to get to the end islands. I decided I would try to salvage the flying machine, so I called up Tharvolt to come help me out. Once it got to the end, I went to collect the flying machine. It's just over here. Only problem is, I don't actually know how to get this thing working.
Oh.
I do know that this is everything you should need.
Oh.
Hey, that was a close call.
I did not have any ender pearls on me.
Did you? Is the coast clear?
He keeps flopping around me.
Okay, that's good. That means he's on you. Okay, I got this stuff. Now I just gotta figure out how to build a flying machine. Then I learned that in order to make a flying machine, we needed redstone, something neither of us had. We needed to call a friend. We could get Joseph to do it. If I were to call Joseph right now, do you think he would answer?
Yeah.
Joseph, how would you like that? How would you like to do a very special job for us?
What's this very special job?
We need you to hop on Minecraft, get a stack of redstone, and throw it in an end portal. And don't ask questions.
I mean, I was doing the calculus homework right now, but that's pretty baller, so I'm going to do it.
Perfect. Now I wasn't the only one procrastinating my homework. It took a minute to direct him to the end. No, go to my base.
No, backwards.
You're
Yeah.
going-
What? Wait, which one's your base? It's not the. It's the base is not the the Gooner HQ.
No, that was Dominic's.
Dominic's.
But he got there.
Over
He
here.
gave us redstone. Sweet.
The redstone ores right there.
I said my goodbyes. Time we're gonna wait.
No! I was assassinated.
At such a young age too, no! And Tharvolt and I were off. Here we go! We're on an adventure! David, go on F5. Why are we so cool right now?
I'm on F5 right now. We kind
David, we've never done this before. Wait.
You look so Sigma.
Screenies. And I have the camera mod on right now, so I can get cinematic shots of us going in the end.
Are you recording us for a video?
Yes. Say hi to the video.
Hi, video.
I'm rebellious. I'm not gonna say hi for the video.
David, look over the void, David. One mistake and we're dead.
The boat looks really laggy from my end.
David,
Like
do,
this
go
is
into
like-
click F1 and just look into the nothingness. That is the abyss right now. Hey, David, look at me. Do you see me? Dude, it stopped for a second when I started doing that. I swear it stopped for a second on my screen. No, David, don't do it.
This looks like, I don't know how to explain it. I've seen most flying machines online. This looks like when you inherited your dad's like old car, you know, and it's like barely running.
Dude, don't
This is
compare
so-
my flying machine to your dad's old car. This is awesome. After a while of traveling and messing around, I noticed something. Just like the Nether, even the end was beautiful. Yet again, I was doing something I'd never done before, and loving it. It was different this time though. Maybe it was because I wasn't alone, but exploring with my friends was so much more fun. I realized when Chewy explored the end, he had nobody with him. He was alone. I tried to think more about the fact why he didn't kill a dragon. After all, if he was all by himself, why didn't he just kill the dragon and save himself the journey? If he didn't kill the dragon, that also meant he would have had to put all his stuff in an ender chest and kill himself just to escape the end. Yet, he consciously chose to not kill the dragon. Some part of him must have still held on to the idea that the end fight was going to happen, even if it never really was. And this journey was making me realize why. Before this video, barely anyone logged on, including myself. Nobody was ever online together. I realized that myself and everyone else on the server were no different than groovyman. It had been like we were the ones who left. When nobody played on the server, that only left Chewy. After all, once the 2-week phase is over, that only leaves the one who constantly grinds. We were abandoning him. While I can't speak for others, I wanted to do everything I could to change that. It was part of the reason I had grinded so much already. I started looking at the last day not as a bad thing, but rather as an opportunity Chewy had handed me in order for me to prove that I hadn't left him. That if even nobody else was on the server, I was still here. I wanted to prove that I could grind even more than he had. I was going to prove that this server was worth saving, and that the last day wouldn't be needed because we would continue to play. I wanted to prove that I could fix everything. Eventually, we reached an end city, and our very first end city had an elytra. With that, we were all set, put our loot away, and went back home. Okay, bye David, I guess.
Goodbye.
The next day, I went to look at my secret chest. Who the heck just did that? Dude, I was on a Discord call, so I thought someone like played a sound effect. Ugh. Well, he blew up my super secret chest, which now I can't remember what I put in that. But most of the good stuff I had in my ender chest, I didn't think he'd blow up my base because he kept messing with it. I tried to gather my thoughts as I repaired my base. I was so angry and annoyed that I decided to go raid Chewy's base. Screw a stupid sugarcane. Yeah, it was me who stole it. I was now more determined than ever to get the mace, so I looked into how to increase my chances of getting it. I learned if you drink an ominous potion, it would make the trial chamber a lot harder in exchange for a lot better rewards. That included the mace, which could only be obtained during these harder trials. Using my new elytra, I quickly went to a trial chamber and cleared it out. I finished it in no time and even ended up getting the mace. I thought about what other items I may need and realized Turtle Master potions would be extremely useful as they practically grant you invincibility for a few seconds. So I quickly made a turtle farm in order to get scutes so I could make Turtle Master potions. The only thing to do left was to enchant my mace. The main enchantments a mace can have include Density 5, Breach 4, and Windburst 3. I already got Density 5 from my enchantment table, and I already had Breach 3 from Villager, so I tried to add them to my mace. What? One or the other? No! I went with Breach because it was much better for PvP, as it could bypass through someone's armor, and because of Chewy's Netherite, this would be extremely useful. I decided to practice using the mace before I attempted getting Windburst 3, and asked my friend Sai to help me out. Hey Sai, how busy are you, hypothetically?
Not really, why?
So we did a lot of testing in order for me to get good with the mace.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what you need. Ooh, okay. Okay, bucko.
What?
You get good enough.
No!
Yeah. Holy. Oh, shucks.
No! Until eventually. I did it! Overkill, what?
Oh, 50 hearts of damage in a single hit. It's crazy.
50 hearts of damage? Wait, that's it. That's how I kill him.
I guess so.
That was it. That was how I would kill Chewy. If I had a fully maxed out mace, it was much easier to kill someone than I ever thought, and I was determined this is how I would end Chewy. As I continued to raid trial chambers, I had Sai help me because multiple people can do them at once, meaning we were effectively doubling our loot. But we had a limited amount of maps, so we had to go get more villagers. That's when Chewy hopped on. Now, I wasn't sure when the last day was, but I wanted it over. I decided to finally confront Chewy. So, I have something to tell you.
What?
I don't know if you noticed who's online. Sai.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with him, and I found out he wasn't the one who blew up my house, alright? And I know Tharvolt because, I talk to him all the time, we were playing, and it wasn't him. Meaning you were the only one who could have done it.
I'm telling you, I was gone. I got this. It took me 2 weeks to get this down.
A singular one?
No, I got multiple. I'm just kidding. Hold on. So many.
Oh, okay, you're just drippy like that?
Yeah, bruh.
Well, regardless, I know you've been talking about the last day, and tonight, I challenge you to a duel.
Alright.
This is what will decide the last day. If I win, whatever your plans are to destroy the server, you have to stop them. If I manage to beat you in a fight. But, if I lose, then I guess I can do nothing but let you destroy the server. But furthermore, if you manage to beat me in a fight, I'll give you all my Netherite. And then you'll go back to being the only person to have Netherite, aka the only person with power on the server. You accept this duel?
Sure.
Okay. Later tonight, me and you. With the duel in place, The only thing left to do now was to get Windburst 3, but my villager just wouldn't sell it to me. This was bad, as it was the most important enchantment for the mace. It allows you to go flying each time you hit someone. So I looked it up online to see if villagers can even sell it to you, only to learn they can't sell it to you, meaning it's a loot only item, just like the Netherite template. Moving on with this, the only way I could get Windburst 3 is if I got 4 Windburst 1 books and combined them all, and the only way to get Windburst 1 books were from trial chambers, and they only had a 5.5% chance of spawning. For context, the mace has a 7.5 to 8.3% chance of spawning, meaning not only were the books each individually rarer than the mace, but having to get 4 would be a 0.3025% chance, making this the hardest enchantment to get in the entire game. I clearly had my work cut out for me. Sai and I needed to get Windburst 3 by tonight. Then you can go. We really want that book. You have a key. Enchanted gold map? Or enchanted gold map? You want more? Okay. Windburst 1!
Yes.
Dude! It's Windburst, okay, phew. Eventually, we had to head back to the base to get more maps. We had explored 21 vaults and it was getting late. Okay, I'm here.
Nice.
Are you ready? Dude,
Yes.
moment of truth pretty much over here. I'm gonna combine these two Windbursts. Windburst 2. Okay. I gotta test this baby out, bro.
Oh my gosh, I did a lot.
See, do I need
I was left at 3.5.
Do I need Windburst 3?
I don't have Netherite though, so.
Oh wait, you're right. We were discussing if Windburst 2 was enough, when suddenly Chase logged on. Where's Chase, bro? I really want to start throwing these at him.
Wait, isn't that the guy that's like not on your team?
Chase is the guy who never logs on, and Chewy's only teammate. He does nothing, and he's pretty bad at the game. But I mean, it's fun to mess with him. Chase, where the freak are you?
Chase, hurry back to base, bro.
Oh, there you are, Chase.
Oh wait, I'm in Netherlands.
That's literally you down there. I see you, Chase. Chase,
Smart
you're not
Chase,
in the You're not in the Netherlands. What are you talking about?
Oh, if you touch me, I get to touch you. Hey! Oh, sorry.
After a bit of time, I couldn't find where Chase was anymore, and I was worried he might be up to something, only to learn that he was at my base. I saw him with TNT earlier. What are the chances he rigged our base?
Oh
rigged
no.
my base.
Oh shucks. He wouldn't do that. He would do that.
I mean, he's done it before.
Oh no.
I looked for traps, but I couldn't find any. Then, I had to leave for a second, and since I didn't find any traps, I figured it was okay. But, as soon as I got back, I noticed something was up. What the What villager is this? Feather falling. What is Chase doing? Why is this villager... Dude, I think he blew up your house. He did blow up your house.
Who, Chase?
Yes. He blew up your house.
Alright, kill him.
I don't know where he is.
Please tell me he didn't blow up my chest, silly.
No, he blew up all your chests.
Great.
I joined their call to ask why Chase did this.
What up, my boy?
So Chase, why'd we do that?
What did I even do?
Chase, I will not take that, Chase.
Chase, why'd we do that?
What? I didn't do anything.
But Chase kept denying it was him, so I went to get proof. I have the scene right here of you blowing up the house, Chase. The thing is, showing them didn't really change anything, and they didn't seem to care at all, so I hopped back on. Dude, I think they're killing my villagers.
Of course.
I just heard villager killing noises. One villager's gone. All the villagers are gone. Okay, that's it. Windburst 2 had to be enough. It was finally time to fight them. Mecca's like, this is crazy work. Dude, I know Chewy's gonna come after me. Chase tried to respawn, so I had to break his bed to make sure he couldn't make it back.
Why are we attacking my boy?
You guys think you can just do whatever you want on the server? You think you can just kill our villagers? Okay.
I can do whatever I want on the server.
You'll completely counters it, boy. You understand that, right? You do no damage to me.
Suddenly, I was getting nervous and started wasting god apples. I didn't know that the mace could be blocked by a shield because I never tested it. I tried to resort to plan B to use my end crystals, so I went to the mountains by my base for better terrain. But instead of following me, he called me out for not fighting back.
I'm not gonna fight you, bro. You're not even hitting me back. I completely counter you.
Yeah, where are you? I realized I needed to fight him any way I could, even if that meant only using my sword.
No. Oh well. GG.
GG.
I wasn't even ready, bro.
Well, there it is. I killed him. But it wasn't right this way. I didn't really use my end crystals or my mace, and he didn't really seem ready for the fight. If I was the one who challenged him to the duel, I at least owed him a proper one. Then, we went to the place where it all started and began our fight.
Alright, let's go. Let's do it then. Do it. Hit your shots, kid. Hit your shots, kid.
Dude, I'm trying, it's not easy. Let's go! GG. That was it. I had done it. I finally beat Chewy. But after the fight, we talked about what happened. Okay, well, you know, Ryan, you said you were going to bring to pass the last day, and I guess I just hope you give it
Yo,
the
you're a
last push.
cornball, bro. Holy guacamole. Come here. I'll give you all my stuff. I'm gonna so. Where's your ender chest?
I have it on me. Right here.
That one's empty. This one? Look, this is my pride and joy. This blue one. It's all my shulkers I gave y'all.
What
My pride
the
and joy,
freak?
bro. My pride and joy. Y'all didn't play for 3 months, and I did all that. And then I think that's everything, yeah.
Hold up.
I found your secret chest, too, so that's why your
Wait.
base is blown up.
Oh, that makes sense. See, I knew you did
I
it.
rigged it. Yeah. Obviously, I did it. Chase is not that smart. Chase doesn't get on the game, ever. See, the other one? Look at the other one.
Yeah?
That's all your stuff. The gas tiers.
You
I was gonna
found that?
TNT. Yeah. And then also, I robbed, like, whenever I would go around, I would always take your anvil. I would
No,
always...
I know. You were so annoying.
Go to my base. Go to my original base.
Yeah?
Go to
But
my
your
I
original
need to show you
base?
some. Yeah, my original base.
Like,
I need to show you some.
you have no idea how mad you made me.
Like,
You should have hide your villager too, and they robbed him.
I got, like, I didn't care what you were doing until you took it. I was like, okay, he took it. And then you took it again, and I was like, okay, he took it. And then you took it, and then you took it.
I got. That's why I was trying to make up my potions, bro.
Are you
all
kidding
hiding
me?
Here.
Are you
No,
kidding
wait.
me?
Come down here. Come to
You
Chase's
took,
basement.
not, you took 9 of my brewing.
After all that, we fought a wither together. It was the first time since the start of this server that so many people were online. I might have beaten Chewy in the fight, but I think he got what he wanted in the end. Which we never went to, by the way. Regardless, ending the server with a wither fight felt appropriate, and as everyone logged off for the last time, this really was the last day of the server. Just like anything else in life, it was always going to end. No matter how much I grinded or fought for it not to, but maybe that was okay. I enjoyed the server, I enjoyed the grinding, and I enjoyed the last day. If you made it this far, please subscribe and let me know if you want more videos like this. It's currently 2 AM for me and I put way too many hours into making this, but I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to bed now. Good night.